When Josephine Maziku arrived in Uganda 6 months pregnant, all she had was the dress she was wearing. She is one of the 1,700 southern Sudanese women to arrive in Uganda each day, according to the Norwegian Refugee Council. She is seeking financial support, stability, and a safe environment to raise her child. It's becoming a familiar pattern for women living in South Sudan. South Sudan is a sub-Saharan African country that boasts a population of more than 11 million people. Though South Sudan gained its independence in 2011, the country has since been plagued by a civil war. According to the United Nations Refugee Agency, fighting among those supporting the nation's president has resulted in more than 1 million refugees fleeing the country, making it only the fourth country to ever witness the departure of more than 1 million refugees. The country has also become home to more than 1.6 million displaced people, high unemployment, a poor economy, high malnourishment, and a lack of education. The government tried to handle the issue in August 2015 by signing a handful of peace agreements to settle the disputes, but the agreements were repeatedly violated. Refugee sites have been set up by the UN to temporarily house people and provide essentials for survival, but this is not a long-term solution to the issue. And that's where we are today, trying to solve one of the world's worst refugee crises, one that consistently plagues women. So how do we fix it? How do we create better living conditions for these women within their native countries?
The Sudanese Women Refugee Fund will take many short-term and long-term steps to fix the crisis of women refugees in Sudan. In the short term, we will focus on eliminating violence against female refugees by teaming with the National Guard of Sudan to form all-women refugee camps. This will cause drastic decreases in the rate of violence against female refugees. We will allocate $2 million of our $10 million budget to funding the creation of the camps and providing for around-the-clock protection. In the long term, we must provide solutions and funding to keep women in Sudan and prevent them from fleeing. We will focus on limited access to education, opportunity, resources, and discrimination. One way we can do this is with the formation of all-girls schools. The Mercy Corps organization reported that in extremely violent areas of the country, up to 70% of schools have been closed. One of the major sources of extreme poverty is the lack of education, which accounts for why the World Data Bank reported the poverty rate to be at 65.9%. Providing widespread education is imperative for Sudan to become a developed country. The schools that we create will be staffed by trained female teachers. They will be built across South Sudan, and they will be defended by the National Guard during school hours. They will act as a safe haven and provide career training to open opportunities in the workforce. Girls will no longer be kept from obtaining an education because of traditional values. We hope to partner with Women for Women International, who are already focusing on disparities in income and education among women in South Sudan. For this project, we will allocate $4 million of our budget. Another solution to keep women in Sudan is to increase the number of female health clinics. Few women in South Sudan have access to resources like health care, and they flee as a result. Increasing health facilities will be most important in rural areas where access to health care is the lowest. Organizations like the Women's Refugee Commission can help us identify health problems most prevalent among female refugees. Currently, only 7% of their GDP is put into health care, so we have decided to allocate $2 million of our budget to this solution. Our final long-term solution for keeping women in South Sudan is to provide childcare for mothers so that they may go participate in the workforce instead of being tied at home taking care of the kids. By improving access to childcare, we are providing mothers in South Sudan with a significant increase in opportunities and resources. We will allocate the final $2 million of our budget to forming and staffing child care centers that will take care of children during work hours. Organizations like UNICEF will be able to assist us in training and staffing these child care centers. These solutions will be successful because women with increased opportunities and resources will be less inclined to flee. Also, by providing safety and protection to women refugees, in the short term, the issues of violence against female refugees will be fixed. Our $10 million budget is dividing by the short-term and long-term solutions in this chart. Sudanese Women Refugee Fund works to build a network of resources and a support for the vulnerable population in Sudan. Every day, we are working to decrease the number of women refugees and increase the safety in these Sudanese communities. We also aim to improve the lives of women like Josephine Maziku.